Hey guys, it's Chris here, and I am here with the last Festive Friday for December. So I tried to switch out the link because for some reason the software is picking up the old link. So if you want the link to today's project, comment Holly. I'll have to switch out the other pinned comment after I'm finished. It won't let me do it while the video is live. But so if you comment Holly on the video, I'll send you in the direction of the PDF. And so on the PDF today, there is, it's like literally right here in front of me. Maybe made it to the bottom of my pile here. There is, oh, here it is. Oh my goodness. Like I was like looking right at it. So it's got the sketch and then it's got the one that I've made before. I'm going to go over some of the details of it before I start. And then I'm going to make a second version today. So I'm going to add my desk in so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'll show you the first one and then I'm going to make it with freshly baked today. But let me add, there we go. So like I said, I know that the pinned comment for some reason said Mary, but if you comment Holly, I'll come back and add the link to the PDF, or there is actually a live link in the description. So as promised, we're going to do a 2-page spread today. So this is the 2-page spread. So this is how I've designed it. Let me see if I can get everything in camera here. I seem to have a lot of stuff around me today. On purpose or not on purpose, I'm not exactly sure. That's what happens. Hey, Judy. And I see Maria's here. Jolette and Cynthia. Hello, guys. Okay, so it is a 2-page spread. And you know that there were some of the Christmas stuff that sold out early. So I tried to design with things that were still available. So I used the mix-ins and the PML cards. And the mix-ins work with both paper packs. So we're actually going to use mix-ins to create the second one. And we're going to do it with freshly baked. But I'm just going to go over a few of the details of this layout. We're going to do 2 shakers because you guys know I love a good shaker card. A good shaker on a scrapbooking layout. We're going to do a little bit of ink blending. You can see on this one. So I wanted to show you this one because obviously the PML card will be different on when we use freshly baked. But so this is one of the PML cards from the Christmas Story and I trimmed it. No, it's exactly the same size. But I added the gold metallic marker to look like garland through the tree. And then I added just the French vanilla or white iridescent sequins from the melon sequin mix. So I think that turned out really cute. And then both the shakers are stuffed with gold confetti. I think we'll use silver confetti with the freshly baked today, just to make it look a little bit different. I've got some glitter paper here. You can see some more of that distressing with a little bit of the spray gloss. Hey, Eileen. So like I said, I thought it turned out super cute. So we're going to make a different, or I'm going to make a different version right now with freshly baked. So I've got all my stuff here. And so I'm going to swap out a few things, but I wanted you to be able to like fully see both of the ideas. So like I said, there is a downloadable sheet. I'll come and add the links in after. All you have to do is comment Holly, and then I'll know to add the link. Okay, so we're going to start the second version. And like I said, I thought it would be fun to kind of do it with both different sets of the PML cards, because also you will find that the Picture My Life cards stay in stock longer sometimes than some of the supplies. So by just simply, like all the mix-ins are just really simple papers. you could add the PML cards in and still get a whole pile of really great layouts. So I was just going to talk about the supplies for 1 second. So the original I did with White Daisy, Seabrook, Pine, and Scarlet. I used the mix-in paper from October to December, gold glitter paper, and then the Christmas Story Picture My Life, which we're going to switch to Freshly Baked. We're going to use the Seabrook glitter paper. We're still going to use the mix-ins pack, but I'm using the other papers that I didn't use in the first version. I'm just going to take my watch off so that you know who doesn't think I'm talking to her. And then I did use some of the small thin cuts, and I'm going to just swap them out on this one for different ones. On the Freshly Baked, I'm going to use this super cute little heart. And then for the stencils, I actually used the Slimline Card Front Pack number 2. On the Christmas Story, I used this one with the dots. Today, I'm going to use this one with the stars, with the Freshly Baked, because I thought it went well. The third one in here has got like butterflies, so I'm not feeling that that's very Christmassy. So all the measurements for the papers are on the PDF. I'm just going to try and move some of this stuff out of my way so that I have a little bit of room to work. So like I said, I've got 2 White Daisy backgrounds. I'm going to do the same background. Like I said, I'm just going to swap out some of the PML cards, some of like all the stuff I kind of prepped before because I know this is a busy time. So thank you to whoever jumps on live. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you want the download, just honestly comment Holly, and I'll come back and add them after and fix that pinned link that I can't seem to get rid of. Okay, so I have 2 White Daisy backgrounds. For the big part, I picked this striped piece. Like I said, all the measurements are on the PDF, so you don't need to listen to me yammer through them. So I also have the wood grain piece of paper. So on the back is the denim, which I also thought went really well with the Freshly Baked. Then I have the Seabrook glitter paper. I have some for the top and some for the bottom. You'll see as we put it together. That's a little piece of the PML I cut off. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do our ink blending. And if you look on the original, so I've done it at the top. And then, hey, Wendy, Merry Christmas. And then down here in the middle. And then up here at the top. So what you're getting, right, is you're getting, when you look at the 2 pages, you get that nice visual triangle, right, going there. And then you can see my PML cards kind of play on that too. You get lots of photos on here. So I'm going to first do my distressing or my ink blending. So I marked off with my pencil and my ruler. I always give myself just kind of a little faint line so that I know where to go. So I know that I want, oops, sorry. Let me put something here. There we go. Right, so I showed you where I did it. So I'm going to just give myself a little pencil marking at 1.5 inches on the inside here. And my pencil mark will get covered up anyway, but I can erase it if I want to. And then up here at the top, and like I said, I'm just kind of trying to give myself a rough idea. Oh, and look at me, I drew all over the white piece of paper. That's fine. I will erase that part because that will end up getting seen if I don't. So then this is my right hand page, right? So I know it's going in this top corner. So same thing, I'm just 1.5 inches. And then I know, and I'm going to, when I put them down, I'm to do my ink blending, I'm actually going to add them. Oh my goodness. You guys, that white balance thing makes me crazy. Here we go. Maybe it'll focus on that for a few minutes. I'm going to put them together when I do my ink blending. So I'm just going to draw my rough line across. Okay, so now I'm going to do this bottom part first while I have both the pieces together like that. So I am going to do, I'm just going to move that out of the way and put my all-purpose mat down so that I can get messy and not worry about it. I'm going to actually leave that right there. So hopefully that camera will just stay focused there. So just because like those slimline card front stencils are, say that, slimline card front, they're nice. A nice size for a scrapbooking page. So like I said, I used the one with the dots on the other layout, and then we're going to use the one with the stars. So I picked for my color combination of ink, I'm going to do honey butter for the stars and Seabrook in the background. So I'm just going to, and I love the new blending brushes. I might have lots of them in my drawers. Just saying. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick up some of the Seabrook first, and I love that it is nice and subtle, and so you can build it up or leave it as wispy or kind of as dark as you would like it. So I'm just, like I said, going over the two parts so that they match. So I've just got them meeting in the middle, and I kind of just want like a little color here. And then I'm going to take my stencil and I am going to just, it doesn't really matter where I do it. And it's part of it's going to get covered up too. I just thought that the stars kind of really felt like Christmas. So again, I'm just picking up the honey butter, and now I'm just laying it over top. And you could do as much or as little as you want. You can make it go as far as you want. So, and I would just kind of check on it, and I'm kind of happy with that. So now I'm going to go up in my corner here. I just don't want to lay my stencil down on something until, there we go. Okay. So again, same thing. I'm going to do my Seabrook first. And like I said, I just want this kind of peeking out from behind the paper. And then I can add some stars. So they're super easy way to add also just kind of another feel that's not necessarily paper, right? Okay, so that's that top corner. I'm just going to give it a few seconds to dry, and I'm going to obviously have to erase that pencil line because it's like Wonka, and it'll end up in my page if I'm not careful. So here is the top corner of the right page. Like I said, I'm just putting down a little bit of the Seabrook. And then add in some stars with the honey butter. And I'm going to make these ones go right up off the page there. So see, super, just a little bit of an extra detail. Okay, I'm going to close up my inks. Oh my goodness. There we go. I'm going to close up my inks. I'm going to put this on top of my Versamat. So to clean your brushes, it's actually super easy. I'm just going to grab a paper towel here. Just looking for somewhere to put my stencil down. Because of course this is like my last paper towel. And literally you can just rub off the extra ink. But because I'm also doing it really faint, I don't have a ton of extra ink there. And then when it's all clean, I can go ahead and use it again. So like the one that I used for honey butter, I would use in like some of the lighter yellows and stuff. And so as soon as I get nothing coming off, then I'll set them aside. Okay, and I'm now actually going to put my stencil on top of that paper towel. Okay. We need to erase this line. Just makes me a little nervous to do it just yet. Let's see. I just need the part gone that's going to end up on my layout if I'm not careful, right? Okay, so let's move our all-purpose mat out of the way. I'll grab my Versamat, make sure I've got the right side going here. Okay, so this piece is, you'll see it on the sketch, but it's 6 inches, I do believe. Right, so I'm just going to center it. 3 from the top and 3 from the bottom. And like I said, the Mix-Ins paper is kind of a nice way to be able to like expand, even add in with some of the stuff you already have. And I on purpose designed it so that you could actually do both layouts with one pack of Mix-Ins paper, because there's only one of each design, right? So I wanted to make sure that you could actually do the freshly baked and the Christmas story. Okay, so then I've got a piece of the wood grain to go underneath. And then I liked this craft color with the stitching on it. And I like the little diagonal stripe. Like I said, all the measurements are on the sheet. But I'm thinking, I think it's 6 and then an inch. And then 1/2 inch. And then 1/4 of an inch. So then we're going to add this down here. But first I'm going to just add a little bit more. I don't like how that was popping up there. Okay, so I'm going to add my papers at the top. So same thing, I have the nice wood grain. And the diagonal stripe. Okay, so, and we are going to be perfectly fine with the little crazy line that I had going there. So I took the adhesive sheets and put them on the back of my Seabrook. Sorry, Seabrook also has, I had to get my garbage can, it was across the room. Seabrook also has shimmer trim, so if you would rather do that, you can. But this is skinnier than shimmer trim. It's just 1/4 inch. And I just kind of wanted the sparkle at the top and at the bottom. That's our top one though, because it's upside down right now. And then here's my bottom one. And I think I picked some fun PML cards from the Freshly Baked pack. And I love that kind of they were like they had really two really different feelings, right? Like that the Christmas Story was like really kind of like that traditional Christmas feeling. And then the Freshly Baked was, it obviously is a baking theme, but it also had, is like kind of just a little more whimsical. Okay, so at the same time, we're going to add our paper to the other background. So this will be, oh my goodness. That will be the right hand side of our page. I have to see if there's some way I can adjust that white balance because it's actually super annoying to me. Okay, so same thing, right? I have the same pieces. This is going to be the fun little shaker on this side. Okay. And I actually got to bake on, I hadn't done any baking yet. Or minimal baking, I guess I should say, yet. And on, I think it was Wednesday, my daughter said, hey, if you want some help, I'll come bake with you. And I'm like, okay. So I managed to get some baking done. Okay, so same thing. It's going to line up exactly the same way. So I'm going to do the middle piece first, but also at this point, because it's two-sided, I am going to make sure they match up. So I'm going to use these measurements. So I've got it at like my 9 and my 3, but I'm also going to bring it together just in case one side is slightly off, but actually I'm pretty good. So I'm just making sure everything kind of lined up in the middle there. And now I'll add my layers. Oh, I don't need my eraser anymore. I will add my layers in. So the fun thing is we actually made a couple of new things this year. So I'm a creature of habit. For anybody that knows me, I like the same. I like knowing things. I like knowing what's happening, all those things. So, but we went outside our outside my comfort box and we made 2 new recipes. One was better than the other, but that's okay. But one you made with like devil food cake mix, and it was super easy, and it actually turned out really, really well. So I gave away 1 tray already, and the person I gave them to texted me and asked me for that recipe, and I'm like, oh, I'm almost slightly embarrassed because there's like literally, it's the easiest thing. And then when they were still hot, you were supposed to put like a Andre's mint on top of it, but we don't have those, so I used after 8s, and then we just added some crushed candy cane on top of them. They were very good. And because you use the cake mix, right, it stays as a soft candy. Okay, so I'm just getting the backing off because, right, I said I put the adhesive sheet on here. But when you have lots of lights in your eye, it's sometimes hard to see. So let me get my piercing tool. You can totally add this with adhesive, but I just found, I know everybody loves an easy recipe. And then, of course, as soon as I finish baking, my husband came home and he's like, oh, are those for me? They're my favorite cookie. And I'm like, well, no, I haven't even made up any trays yet. And of course, he doesn't, it's not the easy one that he likes the most. But he's all about the cookies. We always joke because he said before he met me, he didn't really like sweets, which he definitely has a sweet tooth. So, okay, so this is how our backgrounds come together. So I'm going to show you the other one again. So, right? The diagonal on the other side of this, it's like a multicolored straight across. Then this one is like that gray dot. And then this one is the scarlet with the arrow. So you can see, right? And in the background, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do the splatter. I don't know if I trust myself to do it now. You guys, we might go without splatter on this one. I'm thinking. Okay, so here is how this is going to come together. I loved this little gingerbread guy, and it says, oh snap, like how cute is that? So I know that because I can hear on my computer in the background, I know that I am missing things. Let me see if I can catch up. Because sometimes when they go different places, right, then I can't actually see what is going on. Okay, Eileen, I promise I will add the sheet in after. Let's just add some more light on my situation to make it even harder. Okay, so I'm going to show you the pieces that I picked out for this, so this side. So we're going to make the shaker. Okay, so here, this is the card that has the poinsettias in the background. So you have to actually add a piece of paper on the back if you want to use the stitched frames to make your rectangles for your shakers, because they're just slightly different than the 4x6s. But it also adds some stability to the card that I'm going to then add on to my layout. So I did cut this because I love the little stitching. So, morning, Pauline. So I did use this one. So the poinsettia is one card, and then I cut down the holiday memories. So because I wanted to keep them like the same kind of exact concept as each other. This is the full card, right? And then I cut down Cookie Baking Crew for my shaker. I do have one foam and acetate, and then on the second one we're going to, because I ran out of that size, we're just going to use make our own. So then here I have a 4x4 photograph. Okay, and we're going to add a little piece of PML card there, but I think I want to use this one. So for here, this is the leftovers from this card, like that has the holiday memories, but I think I want this one that says Merry Christmas. So I'm just going to chop it. And this piece is like 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to chop it off. I might want this one actually just a little bit wider. Okay. So like that, because I really like the little script on there. It's pretty on the background too, the other way. Okay. Oh, there's our photo mat. So I didn't attach it to the mat before. So all the other ones are on their mats. So I just used a really skinny photo mat. And I did that so everything would fit properly. And you would just kind of, so, and I picked all my mats are like the complementary colors to for the freshly baked. So this is going to go like that. Okay, let me just move my trimmer out of the way here. So that's this side. So we are going to start. I have to decide if I'm going to put something glittery here just yet, but I think I'm going to add that after, because we're going to do silver confetti for our shaker. So I have my background piece. Like I said, I attached it to a piece of white daisy. We're going to just do the cheater way and use the foam and acetate. So let's move that up. We're going to try and do it without getting it all stuck to myself. Like, how stinking cute is that little guy just poking out there? Okay, so we're going to just add a little anti-static in there. I actually think I might need a new bag. It seems like I've like beaten all the dust out of him. Okay, so now don't forget there is the protective sheet on here. So same thing, I'm just going to pull it off with my piercing tool. If you just kind of touch at the corner, you can normally pretty easily find it. Okay, so I'm just going to do this so we can glue the frame down and give it a second to dry while we put all the boxes on the layout. So fun. I gotta have some sparkle there, guys. So, okay, so now I'm gonna add my liquid glass. And then I'm just gonna set it aside to dry for a second. And I think I decided I'm not gonna add glitter on that one like I did on this one. So you can see here I added the little glitter strip. I'm gonna take a second PML card and just cut another little piece off of it. So I'm just adding my liquid glass around my frame. Now I'm gonna touch it down. I'm just gonna hold it down for 1 second, and then I'm actually gonna flip it over and put a little bit of weight on it. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over there, pick up my glue off the floor, and I'm thinking I might have to add another little bit of glue, but we will just see. Okay, but I'm going to start adding these pieces on here. And then I'm going to pick a PML card to chop up to add there. So I have this one, and I just want it sticking out just like that. And let me just double check my spacing here. Yeah, we got enough room there. Okay, so then on my bottom row, and this one is nice because the big piece down the middle has all the lines on it, so it's very easy to tell if you are straight or not. I've got literally little eraser pieces all over the place. And I kind of liked that the craft was a different, like it almost looks textured on, like it almost does look like stitched. And that's why I liked it on with this set of pages. Okay, so for the PML card, I think I'm going to use, on the other side, we're going to add this little circle on top of that other shaker. So I think I'm actually going to add a little piece of this to bring this side over to this side. So this one is just a little skinny one. So here we go. And yeah, that is it, guys. So I love it. It kind of looks like a candy cane the way I cut it, except for it's the pinks. So there we go. Okay, so now we can add our shaker. Just like that. Okay, so there we go. That side is done. So you can see them compared to each other, but they're both kind of cute. Just they have a different feeling, right? But you're using exactly the same sketch kind of thing. Okay, so now we're going to put the other side together. So the elements on this one, so I did 22, and this is the Moxie stamp set and thin cuts, which I love. It was like the new big alpha set. So I did Versamark and gold embossing powder. So I'm not going to do the same numbers because I did like 22 for the year. But for this one, I think I'm going to do the date. But because I wasn't sure what the date was going to be, we're not going to do the numbers, but I'm going to do the other parts. So here we go. So I picked this fun PML card that looks like the sprinkle. So that's what we're going to turn into our shaker. And then I have these pieces to go in the middle. So that's going to go there. And then I have my photo mats. So I have 2 4x4s down at the bottom and 2 at the top. Nice big photos I picked. Okay, so then this, just so you know, I wanted to kind of emulate this, and this, so it's the little star stitch thin cut. But for this one, this is a big PML card, and I just chopped it down, and we're going to add the little stitched heart there to bring that same feeling onto this side. I actually think I'm going to do it right there, and I'm going to pop it up on some foam tape. So that's what we're doing here. So I didn't have, like you saw, I didn't have another acetate piece. So remember, you're going to have, if you did the picture this, you'll have extra acetate, and it works in exactly the same way. Or it is actually now like a product on the product line. So we'll do our shaker first, because that's like the only complicated part of this. So I'm just going to do it with regular foam tape, because that is doable. So same thing. This one has no, we're not going to do it this way. What am I doing? We're going to do it. No, we are going to do it this way because it got too stuck. So you guys, you're going to see me hopefully not make a big, huge mess. I should add it to my bottom, but that's okay. Oh no, I need to get my acetate on there. Okay, we have to fix this. See, my lights are making me all wonky today. Just be gentle. Okay. There we go. It's getting so close to Christmas. I'm probably a little sleep deprived too. So everybody in Australia, it's Christmas Eve already, right? Because I see some of my Aussie friends are on. Okay. Good thing I noticed before I got too far into making my shaker. Okay. Phew. Disaster averted. We would have fixed it some other way. Okay. So again, yeah, definite. I think there's like literally almost nothing in here. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to use the silver confetti. And my acetate. So this is leftovers from the picture this. There we go. Also, I do have to say my Santa hat today. I know, I'm all about the lots of photos and some fun shakers. My Santa hat today seems to be giving me a headache, which is not good. Good thing that we're almost at the end of the Festive Fridays. And it just won't be appropriate to wear Santa hat anymore. Also, I decided to really do a ton of 4x4s on here because they're a really nice, easy crop off a 4x6 photograph, right? Quite typically, especially at Christmas, you've got lots of other stuff in your background that you can very easily trim off, right? So a 4x6 a 4x6 trims really well into a 4x4. Okay. Okay, so let's get our frame on here. And I'm going to add my extras on here too. So, and I just adhered them straight onto the acetate, but we're going to have to give it a few seconds to dry. So, there we go. So this second piece is also that new smaller shaker. And so there's a background piece and a front, and there's quite a few actually different ways you can use it, because you can like inset it or pop it up or have it inside something. But this I also thought was kind of a neat different way to use it too. So I was thinking on this one, like I said, I'm gonna put the date. I actually think I'm going to use the photos from this week on this one, but I don't need to put like the year again. So I'm just going to give this a second to dry. So on the other one, where is this page for the other one? Oh, right here in front of me. When I originally did it too, I used a journal box in the background, and I thought if I had just a little bit of journaling, I could add that on there. So, but I finished this off with the year instead. So when I cut this one, these are both PML cards. I cut it so that if I wanted to actually journal on it, I could. But I think I'm going to put the date that we did the cookies. So we're going to add that onto here. And same thing. I'm going to use a liquid glass. And so the card is actually like diagonal stripes like we used. Remember, I added it right here. So if you want to journal on it, make sure that you line it up with the lines straight, or you can put it on an angle. So I'm just going to kind of center that. And then I'm going to add my ring. So it is actually this one, right? So the small circle shaker window, that's what I used. And that is on the supply list too. Okay, so now I just need to be careful. And I think it's kind of fun that this ended up being random dots, because I'll show you. Okay, I'm just going to let that dry. So it's this one, right, that I cut the frame out of, which is really kind of cute. But so it just kind of picks, the way it gets cut, it just picks up kind of the random dots. Okay. So that is it, I think, for my liquid glass. So I need to put my lid on so that I'll be able to use it again. Okay. We are almost done. Okay, so I'm going to add some 3D foam to my heart. And I'm going to have it overlap onto the photograph. But so because I don't have my photos printed, I'm not going to take that part off when I put it down on my page, so I can slide my photograph in there. Okay, and so now we're going to bring back in our first page. I'm going to actually move my Versamat out so I can get my two pages side by side. Okay. So I think we are dry enough now. So like I said, I'll add my date, I think, on there. So I'm just making sure that because it's like two-sided, I'm just going to try and line them up from one side to the next. So on this one, my mats are toffee, honey butter, Seabrook, flamingo, and then this is scarlet, the frame. Okay. I also think this would look pretty if maybe I had matted it with like one of the colors to have it offset. That's okay. So it shows up a little bit better. I think once it's on the ladle, we'll all be good. So yeah, just because a PML card is a certain size, don't forget you can always trim it down or change it, right? So like I said, this is 4x6 and I wanted it to fit into my journaling spot. Okay, so like I said, I almost forgot, but I'm going to leave that one to hang over my photograph. I actually think I'm going to put it up here though. I like that better. Okay, so then I did also grab some dots. Maybe I'm going to actually do that. So I have the red dots. I'm going to add some dots here and some dots here to tie the two pages together. And then after I put my number on here, if it's a smaller one, I might add some dots onto the edge here, but I'm just not sure if I'm going to use the Moxie or a different alpha. So Nope. We are going to, I'm going to make them silver because I don't want the pink and the red on here. Oh, thank you, Pauline. So I'm just going to color them with my silver Spectrum Noir marker. So I'm just going to do some of the hearts and I'll spread them out. So I colored the whole line and then I can kind of pick. So I'll also take photos of this one and I'll add them back in here later so you can see like the second version. So these don't take long to dry. But I think because I did the like silver confetti in here too, I like the silver on the dots. And I should probably really honestly leave it a little bit longer, but you guys have places to go and people to see, I'm sure. So I hope you guys have had some fun with this series. I've enjoyed, some people have shared some of the pieces that they made and all of that fun stuff. Oh no. Oh, it's actually okay. Other than my finger is a little silver. So like I said, let it dry for longer than 3 seconds. But you can't actually tell on my layout. So there we go. Here is our freshly baked version. Let me move some of my caca out of the way so we can actually see the layout. So look at all of those photo spots. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photo spots. Like that's perfect for Christmas, right? Like when you're taking tons and tons of photos. And you could always, because 4x4 we have flip flaps, right? You could always add flip flaps onto this layout also. So same thing, here we go. I use the small shaker thin cut here. I used the stitched rectangle frames, right? One there and one here. And then I used the stitched heart on this version versus the star. So, and then, well, I'll just show you quickly again the other version. Like I said, I'll come back and I'm glad you've enjoyed them. And Merry Christmas to you guys too. Like I said, I will take some photos and I'll drop them back on here probably next week so you can see the other version. Let me go to my other camera. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was tons of fun. I really enjoyed actually creating all of them and figuring out some fun festive projects to do without maybe the festive paper along the way. Oh, Merry Christmas, Cynthia. Yes, Merry Christmas to all of you. I hope you have an awesome weekend. It is just so a little bit weird to me that Christmas is a weekend this year. So I will see you all probably at some point, maybe next week. And like I said, I will add the version with the freshly baked pictures on my page next week for sure. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and make sure to comment Holly. Like I said, I have to go and figure out why the other pinned comment was there, but if you comment Holly, I'll come and I will drop the link so you can download the PDF. And in the PDF, there is like my original supply list. There's a photo of the Christmas story one. And then there's a sketch with all the measurements to make it super easy. But like I said, I wanted to have some fun this month and be able to craft with you all month long. And so it was tons of fun to do Festive Fridays. So I have lots of fun ideas for 2023. So make sure to stay tuned. Talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.